Hi everybody, it's Sharon. Welcome back to my channel. And as you can see, we are going to review the nail hugs and nail snaps today. So I am starting with the nail hugs, and inside the package you receive an orange wood stick, which you can see right there, and that is used for going around your cuticle and the sides of your nail if the nail hug is larger than your nail. So that's how you would take off the excess. And inside you get 2 strips of the nail hug designs and the directions. And the directions are in English on one side, and I believe it's French on the other side. So on the back of them they have guidelines for you to cut where should be like about the size of your nail, and you can use that or measure your nail up against it, whichever you would choose to do. And I actually did not read the directions properly and thought that it was going to be more like the tattoo things. You know how like you take off the plastic layer and then you put the paper part on to your arm or wherever you're putting the tattoo, and then put water on that. So that's what I had thought that these were. So I incorrectly opened it the first time, and you'll see that I pulled the plastic off and kept it on the paper part, and as you can see, it is not sticking to my nail, which was purely user error and not the fault of the nail snap. So once I realized that and wasted that piece and pulled off another one, and that time I realized that you're supposed to dispose of the paper and keep it onto the plastic. And I applied it to my nail. I also had not realized that the lacy pattern, that it was going to be clear where the open parts were. I guess since it was on the white background, I just thought that it would show a white background. So again, this was purely user error. So I just applied it to my natural nail with nothing underneath. And, as it looks okay, but I thought it would look much better with having a base underneath. So this is what the orange wood stick is for, to just kind of peel away the excess that is stuck onto your finger and maybe the sides of your nail. And then it actually cleans up really easily with either alcohol or you could use acetone, but alcohol is better because then you can wipe the whole nail and you won't disturb the design. So once it's on there, as I said, I realized that it would look much better with polish underneath it, so I went ahead and got my OPI Alpine Snow and put white polish on my next finger, and I used the Sachet Vite Quick Dry to seal in the first nail, and I also applied it over the white polish, which I don't know if that's necessarily a step that has to be done, but I just put it on there to just give it a smooth, something smooth application for it to adhere to. So once I did that and let that dry, I went back and again remembered to peel off the white paper and leave it on the clear, and applied it to that nail, and as you can see, it looks so much better having a polished base underneath it. And you just rub it onto your nail, and once you can kind of tell that it's stuck to your nail, the plastic starts kind of coming off, and then again you just go ahead with the orange wood stick and just kind of press where you want it to come apart. Not come apart, come off of your skin, and separate from your nail. And I'm just continuing to go around my cuticle area and the sides of my nail with the orange wood stick to just make sure that everything separated. And then I went ahead and put another coat of top coat on there to keep the design on. And they recommend that you actually put 2 coats of top coat on to seal it in and make sure that you fully cover the sides and the tip of your nail too. And that's how it looked before I went ahead and took the alcohol and removed it. And you can see here how easily I just put some alcohol on a lint-free wipe and it took it off very easily. And there's the 2 nails, and definitely looks much better with having a base coat of color underneath it. And now for the nail snaps. So inside this package you also receive 2 of the nail snap pages and an emery board with them. And one page is the regular size and the other is petite. So I went ahead and used the petite since I do have small hands, and the directions are inside there. So I decided not to pull apart the whole thing so that I can keep it as a little envelope to keep everything in, but you can just read the directions in there. And these are very similar to other brands of nail vinyls or nail covers. There's different terms for what they're called. And you basically line up the size with your nail and peel them off. I had a little bit of difficulty getting it started, but you start at the flat end and then you're supposed to put the rounded end up against your cuticle. And these, I have to say, definitely applied much easier than another brand. I don't want to say brand names, especially since I'm not comparing that other brand right now, but there is another brand that I tried, and these definitely applied much, much easier. I did not need to heat them up at all. They were basically wrinkle-free when they went on, so they're, I guess, a little bit thinner than some of the other brands, and it did go on very easily. And then you just use the nail file and file down in one direction, and you can take off the excess right there. Now I did make sure when I put them on that I followed the directions as far as I went with what was a little bit smaller than my actual nail, so you can see on the sides that there is a little bit of space. This is just a cuticle pusher that I have that I'm just using to help smooth down everything and make sure that there's no wrinkles or anything and that the sides are smoothed down, and just going ahead and making sure that the edges of my nail don't have any rough parts that would catch or anything like that. So you can see that it went on very easily. There is a little bit of extra space around there, but I'm going to be putting a coat of top coat on there, so that will help to cover up the sides so that they don't get caught on anything and peel up. And as I said, it is recommended that if you're in between sizes that you go with the smaller size rather than the larger size, because if it's stuck to your skin it will definitely peel up. So you do want to make sure that you go with a smaller size. And again, I'm just really pushing down on there and making sure that it's adhered well to my nail and applying that top coat, and again making sure that I completely seal around the edges of my nail as well. giving it a generous amount of top coat. And again, it's also recommended, again, with the 2 coats of top coat. So I did follow those directions also. And just sealing in, capping the edges, making sure that everything is sealed in. And that's how it looks so far. And then I'm going ahead and applying to my pinky. And the curve on the pinky is much more oval than my cuticle is, so there is definitely a gap there. I don't know that I would apply it that way the next time. I might use the flat side instead, since there was such a big gap there, which you'll be able to see after I file off the excess. And just smoothing out the edges. And again, I'm just using this tool to just make sure that it's on smoothly and that there's no wrinkles. But you can see along the cuticle where it's leaves that gap, where my cuticle area is wider than where the wrap is. So I'm not sure why it was so narrow there, but you know, the next time I would just make sure that I either use the other side of it or maybe trimmed off that edge where it was a little bit more narrow of an oval. And again, just putting top coat on. And making sure that I seal everything in and cap all of the edges there. And just taking off some of the excess polish that I had around the cuticle. And there you are, completed. The nail snaps are on my ring and pinky, and the nail hugs on my index finger and middle finger. So I'm giving them 1 week, and then I will show you how they held up and which ones I preferred. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up. You really help me out with that if you can give it a thumbs up, and make sure that you're subscribed so that you can see the end result and how they held up on my nails. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you the next time. Take care.